Hello there and welcome back to the Cozy Club, my friends. It's a beautiful day for a little bit of DSA, and we are finally here to talk about one of the best raid teams. Now, we've made a good amount of videos on the new Siege on Olympus raid, and one thing that we haven't done is made videos directly telling you guys which characters and which teams to go after. Now, over the course of this week, I want to release the rest of the Mastered Titan series to help you guys get better scores and better damage overall. But we're going to kick off the week with not only the Lava Titan guide earlier, but also which team is currently the best team to invest in. Let's say you are a free-to-play player and you want to kind of knuckle down on 5 characters that you think are going to be solid for at least one really good raid run. And we got the team for you today. On today's video, I'm going to go ahead and break down right now what's the best overall team, not only for the Siege on Olympus, but also for the Forbidden Depths, a team that does so solid on both raids, and you're going to get great bang for your buck. And the best part is they're pretty much all free to play, and there's not a lot you need for them to make it work. You don't need to invest overly heavy on abilities. You just need to get them up for the requirements of the raid that you're currently in. So I'm going to walk you guys through this team, and feel free to go and put down in the comments below if you need any other further explanation. Later this week, we're going to have, believe it or not, the top 25. You heard that right. 25 raid characters that I would invest in at the moment, plus the best teams. But this is something I just got to get out there because I kind of formed this team and created it whenever the Forbidden Depths was around, right before the Siege on Olympus. So now we've got the team. It's ready to go. Let's go ahead and show you guys how it works. We're going to hop on over here to the game screen, and then we're also going to be going to a pre-recorded footage of me bringing him in earlier, actually, like a few minutes before this video. So let's go ahead and break down the team, what you need, and wherever you're at in the game, what is going to work for you and your roster. And that's the thing. I've been trying to find teams. I don't want to sit here and be like, hey, Tiana, The Rock, Lily, get them, I want to work on teams that are going to be conducive to everybody and everyone can get them, right? So first and foremost, we're in the PvP screen, but we're going to create this squad in here. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the characters you're going to need for this team that I like to refer to as the SlapZone, baby. We try to find great names. This is one that really highlights 2 of the characters, the SlapZone. You gotta love it. Like with Shamu, it's like, hey, be careful in the first 5 rows. It's a splash zone. You heard the splash zone. This is the SlapZone, and it's gonna start off with King Triton. If you don't know by now, King Triton, king of the raid, does very well in all aspects, and not just his leadership. The way this guy is fundamentally put together, he's one of the best support characters. Now, for those that need to know what you need to invest in, T7 is about all you need for him. You want to hit the requirements in order to do the raid you're on. If it's T8 as a requirement, get him to T8. But T7 is all you need. And the main ability, really the only abilities you need to focus on if you're going bare minimum build here, is going to be Prismatic Blessing, a Reasonable Merman, and his leadership. Now, Prismatic Blessing is going to be the most quintessential important. You want to max that one out all the way because that is what the point of this build is. And we'll show you that here in a moment. And then his leadership is just going to add more consistent damage runs. So King Triton, this is the exact positioning. We're going to have him in the dead middle spot. And you'll see how it works here in a second. Next up, we have our damage dealers. There's going to be 2 damage dealers, and by the name, you're probably not surprised. Starting out with the slap of the SlapZone, it's going to be Moana. Now, there's been a little bit of inconsistencies with her doing her double slap. Seems to be working for the most part as of me making this video. And Moana, guys, is all about her basic. Honestly, in all of the runs that I've done with this team, I'm not even using these other abilities. The passives are going to use itself, but I'm not using these 2 outside of maybe trying to land the first slow with more ore. But ore strike, the paddle. We've talked about smacking paddles on stream. My gosh, she's going to be laying down up to 28k if you have her up enough per hit. It's ridiculous, and she's going to marry perfectly with our other damage dealers. So if you've got Moana and you're kind of wondering what to invest in here, go for her basic attack and upgrade that to the fullest. Now, next up, we've got behind as our secondary damage dealer and our chosen sorcerers that needs to fill that slot. It's Frozone. Now, by this point, if you're not farming Frozone or going after him, you're kind of just wasting your own time. He's going to be the best person to invest in for the sorcerers chosen. It doesn't even come close. He does everything you want him to do. Why is this a match made in heaven? Pretty easy stuff here, guys. You've got the zone, the Frozone of the SlapZone. cooler than cool, ice cold. He's going to pump this baby out. You're going to want to get this one up. For Frozone, I'll be honest, you want to actually get all of his abilities up to really get this big-time raid damage numbers that you're going to be getting out of him. Let me go ahead and shrink myself here, and I'll move myself to the top of the screen so you guys can see a little bit better what I'm talking about here. I'll go with the top right. The 20k you get from the basic, the 20k you get from the second spec, stasising up Moana for bigger and better paddle slaps and survivability, and his passive is going to be amazing to boot. Frozone is a no-question T8 character, same as Moana. Those damage dealers, you want them as high as possible. Push your gear, and without, Triton, you've got Oceanic and Downtown Hero. So that leaves the last two spots of this insane team that we're going to run into the raid clip here. To be honest, it can kind of be what you want him to be. Now, the most consistent that I have seen, and that's more free-to-play available for everyone, is obviously Baymax. Baymax is going to be great for the taunt with You Are My Patient and great for major impact. But on top of that, Cozy Club, he's just going to be consistent, and he can take a lot of hits. And I use that protect that he has with You Are My Patient on one of the damage dealers. As you'll see that the Titans, they like to, focus a lot on the damage dealers. So those are the ones that you want to get on the side. Again, Baymax, just put a good tank there. There's other tanks that can fit the role there, but I find Baymax to be the most consistent. Now, again, free to play, free to play, free to play, free to play. We're all free to play so far. Let's round out the free to play tree, and that's going to be done with one last tank/cleanser. You guys can kind of mix and match who you want here. If you have Beast, you can throw Beast in here. You can put in Donald Duck, Oogie Boogie, whoever you really want to. But Prince Eric has been the most consistent for me, and he has great synergy with the rest of them. This whole team is synergy, and I'll tell you why. Now, we've already talked about it. When you use Reasonable Mermaid, as he's already be reasonable, he's going to call these two for basic attacks. And the way that works out so well is you're going to have slows on the board already, Cozy Club, from Frozone. Moana is going to capitalize on that with the double smack of the paddle. And then you've got Eric and Baymax for the defense and the taunt, as well as Eric boosting up the turn meter for all the Oceanics and just natural synergy with King Triton. This is my favorite raid team that I have put together, and by far one that I'm seeing more and more clubs use. And if you're watching my Twitch, people have seen this. I've talked about this a while, but I'm like, I have not made it on YouTube. So let's do it. Now, you might be wondering spells, right? This is all free to play, guys. These are the characters to farm for a consistent team. You can literally throw them into any phase of the raid, and they're going to do their job well. I might maybe adjust one of these to Oogie Boogie if you're doing the Tornado, but you guys can check out the guide for that. Now, Cauldron is a must for this team, and then you can kind of pick and choose what you want for the other half. Obviously, Sugar Rush is going to be somewhat solid. Depends on the Titan you're playing, right? Most runs, I run this. I do the Cauldron, and I do the Grandma Tally here. That's going to be what I do on the majority of my runs. But let me go ahead and show you guys. I'll put myself over to the left side here, and let me show you guys more or less how this is going to work on paper and how you get this team to get awesome damage numbers. I'm talking consistently 2-minute runs, 400,000 damage with little to no effort, and it happens over and over and over, and there's really not a lot to understand here. There's definitely, let me tell you, if you like to go in and just get the job done, right? Just get the job done and get damage. This is a great team to get it done quickly. But also, in addition, if you want to do like massive damage numbers, this is a great, what I like to call a min-maxing team, where you can really kind of learn when the Titan gets empowered and the little things to get the big damage numbers out of all this, right? So let's go ahead. We're going to hop to the footage here. And I just ran this against the Ice Titan here. And let me see if I'm in a decent position to show everything that you guys need to see. So I'll go in the top left corner. That's probably gonna be best for you guys to see. And let's go ahead and walk down what you guys are seeing. So I named it the team. This is the SlapZone though, and you guys can see my positioning just like I had it in the video. These two don't matter, and you're gonna see how this run works out so dang well. It's kind of awesome how well this run and how this team kind of synergizes together. So you're going to start out with Prismatic Blessing with Triton. Really, right now, you want to play the Patience game. They don't get a turn for a while. Baymax, Eric, and Triton, you can do whatever you want to. Just make sure you do Prismatic Blessing and stick to basics with Triton. When it comes to Eric, you'd like to alternate the taunts between the two. Honestly, I make a mistake in this video. You want to use Baymax's basic. We'll get to that. But for Eric, we just want to delay that taunt for a little bit and allow the Titan to get his turn so that we can alternate these taunts. Because, again, he likes to pick on both Moana and Frozone the most. Now, as you guys can see, we've got Baymax on the right side, and we've got Eric feeding the turn meter to all of our Oceanics. Now, this is where things start to get a little bit more easy and strategic. The next phase, or the next thing you guys are going to do is you'll want to land slows on him quickly. If Moana goes before Frozone, try to do her second spec like you see here, that I'm about to land the slow. Bam, we got a slow on her. That's going to allow Frozone to then do his second special, which was down here. And it's going to not only do great damage, you guys are seeing, what, 57k damage right there, right? And that's going to be good no matter where you're at. That was a crit, but you're going to get anywhere from like 20 to 50k depending on where you're at with your tier, or your gear, rather than. But anyway, you run that down. Now he's got 4 slows, which is going to trigger Frozone's basic to start kicking into full gear. Now you're set up. This is the setup. You've got the slows, you've got Moana that's going to do the basics, and all that's left to do is the stasis her. And now just check out how it kind of works. We're going to be patient. We're going to be doing the basic on Triton over and over. We don't want to get him out of that reasonable. We're going to go ahead and save our cleanse with Baymax, you know, save all the abilities with these other ones, and start laying on the damage. This is where the damage really starts to come in with Moana and with Frozone. So there you go. I want to rewind that real quickly just to show you guys how this works now. So you're about to see, again, the big damage, 1717. Now check this out. With Triton, this is when you want to run Prismatic Blessing. Right here, this bottom right ability. You guys can barely see it here on the top, but this Prismatic Blessing, you want to run that as he's shining blue. That's how you know he's reasonable. And that's going to call his 2 adjacent allies to assist. Watch both Frozone and Moana deliver insane damage every time that triggers. Now we're going to stasis Moana. We want to boost up her damage numbers even more. He's picking on Frozone here. We're going to make sure that we take care of him and make sure he survives. And then again, we're going to go with another double tap on the basic attack. 28k a hit. And then Triton, every time he gets a turn, he's going to go ahead and cleanse up those imprisoned characters around him. And now at this point, we're trying to keep Frozone alive. But you guys can already see, what are we? We're not even a minute into this run, and he's empowered. After about 300,000 damage, this guy's empowered. We're going to have an ice guide, you know, separately. This team will hit its max potential way before the instant defeat comes. You're going to be hitting 300,000. The way you want to look at raid runs is 150 to 250k is an okay run. That's anything below empowered. 250 to 400 is a pretty dang good run. And anything over 400k is a phenomenal. You did the mechanics perfectly. So now you guys can see he's in rage. He's going to just kill me pretty much instantly once he gets there and the ice spikes and gets instant turns. The guy starts wailing out the damage here. But we still get in some good hits, guys. You guys can see the consistent damage that we're laying out here. And we're just keeping our guys alive. Now, unfortunately, Frozone is imprisoned here, so we had to skip his turn. And I try to do some waves to take care of the ice. But again, we did the job, and then he's going to kind of nuke and get rid of me because he is empowered and tough to take on. All you got to do, though, is that initial setup. Guys, this works for the Lava Titan quite easily. It works for the Rock Titan phenomenally. You can get even better numbers against that. You've got Grandma Tala for the heals. And then again, look at this. The last thing we haven't mentioned, if you don't know by now, is place that cauldron. If it comes up in time and you have all your characters alive, place the cauldron behind Triton. Okay, and then he's going to call that to assist. He's going to call Frozone. He's going to call Moana. And then bam, bam, bam. It's going to just happen over and over and over. And it's insane. The damage numbers are strictly insane. Again, we're just moments from a wipeout here. But even Moana, even with being empowered, Moana's still laying on big-time damage numbers here. And here he goes. He's going to instant-defeat us here and just kind of get rid of us in our existence altogether. But again, okay, so let's watch the damage numbers come in and see kind of who was responsible for the damage and the roles on the team. Here is the results, and you guys can see very fast attempt. Didn't even go perfectly, and we got 403,000 damage. On top of that, there are different players that you can mix and match for these two. They're there just for the support. Wendy goes great here. You can do Tiana. You can do... there's a lot of different characters in these two spots. These are the main three. This Frozone damage is not even great damage. We could get way higher than that, but this is the potential. And I thought it would be great to show you guys this team just as a whole and walk people through so they know exactly what to be going after. Again, this week, we're going to be doing team guide videos. We're also going to be doing the best characters. But I thought this was a good base, guys. What to start working on for you and your club to get the best damage possible. We've got raid content all week long, and we're going to keep doing it. So if you haven't already, guys, subscribe to the Cozy Club today. We're going to keep them coming, and we got more videos tomorrow. And yeah, until next time, stay cozy, my friends. Invest in team. Here we go. Say it with me. Tell your friends. Invest in team SlapZone. Stay cozy, friends.